Awesome. So we are on 82. I can't believe we've actually made it this far. Honestly, I didn't think it would happen. I set 50 as like, I think my the max. And then when I hit that point, I was like, oh, screw it. Maybe we'll hit 100. Who knows? Maybe we'll hit 100 or maybe not. I don't know. Guess as long as this is fun and doesn't feel like a job, then, which is the way sketching should be. And I guess that's on me to make it fun and not feel like a job. So, all right, so let's start this one off. I want to do the random start point thing. And this is always kind of fun and amusing. Let me move my cheesy video out of the way, and which, we haven't been doing video quite as much. I think it might be getting time to phase that out. I mean, it is kind of, it's fun for me anyway, especially when the stuff we do works and syncs up, but maybe it's time to take a break from that. All right, so let's see. We've got texture. Geez, straight easy. So easy. And then instrument choice is 3. I don't think roll again. Doesn't get any easier than a wild card. Cool. So I guess let's see. For textures, let's go with well, we'll just go with an operator. Tried and true. Oh, we get another wild card. So easy. Let's go with drum synths. I've been enjoying those as of late. Let's pull one in just to make sure that I got drum bus over here. Okay, yeah, no, I should probably just map this. I can't map this folder to a color. That's too bad. I guess I can map these. Well, let's pull in the kick for now. And let's roll again here. Tension, cool. Well, this is a surprisingly useful spread, and if you do something like this where you have this random array of things and you want to give yourself a sort of starting point, you can always roll again. Maybe this will just help you decide, if you end up picking one you don't really like and you don't feel like fighting with learning something new, which can feel like a bit of a struggle. And yeah, just roll again. Maybe it'll help you decide, or maybe it'll just help you pick something easier at that point. All right, effects choices. We get one effects. We get the Resonator. That's not a bad start. There's a lot of cool stuff. As far as textures go, though, it's maybe a little more tricky to do textural stuff with Resonator, but I'm willing to give it a shot. And I guess I have 2 kicks here. Okay, tension was the other one. All right, cool. Let's get this out of the way. We got 41 to 60. I mean, this could not be set up more perfectly for textures. And we can branch off from that, of course. I don't think anything should have to be set in stone, but at least this is a good place to jump off from. And the key of D. Textures are usually not melodic, but let's try to do some kind of melodic textural type of thing. And let's pitch up 2. So when I play in the key of C, it's going to be transposed to D. I don't know if we really need to worry about that for the kick, but let's just leave that in there for now. And then there. Okay, so we're all set up. Let's get rid of this stuff. And we don't need all these scenes for now. And let's just clean that up. Nice and clean, fresh slate. There was something I thought of doing earlier that I wanted to do, and it is pull in from our previous sketch. We had, let's see, in this effects chain, I had created something last time after I stopped recording the video. It was this filter jammer, which looks like we got a lot of cool Max for Live stuff control and things. So we've got this section of filter jam plugins, and there's 4 operations for this particular plugin, and it's very clicky. Like the normally Audio Thing, who makes pretty good plugins, they keep in mind a lot of the knobs are really clean sounding when you move them. You don't get that zipper sound, but These, I guess, we're switching filter algorithms, and it's a little clicky. So I put 4 different instances on here, each with a different algorithm. And then I linked these knobs here. So we can switch between our algorithms and get a much cleaner sound that way. Of course, you'll need this plugin. It's free. No reason to not go. And of course, check out some of AudioThing's other plugins, because they definitely have some really lovely sounding stuff. And I think this isn't the only freebie as well. I want to go ahead and map. I think in this case, I'm going to let's just copy this over. Whoops. And paste you there. Hopefully that works. Cool. And now we don't need this anymore. Yeah, it looks like Ableton is sometimes it just freaks me out a little bit too much. And it looks like, let's see, do we map the random? Yep. Cool. And let's map these as well. I'm not sure how this is going to go with this randomizer thing. I've never actually tried this. Hopefully it doesn't crash or anything. And mix. And gain. Okay, cool. Let's give that a shot. See what happens when we hit this random thing here. It looks like it's randomizing them anyway. And then what happens when we move this? Huh. It looks like everything jumps back. That's really fascinating. Okay, so yeah, I guess, oh, this one isn't one of the maps. Yeah, that's odd. That's very odd. So I guess we'll just have to keep that in mind. Maybe for this case, I'll remove this randomizer thing here. Just clean things up a bit. Maybe we'll get rid of gain here. And we will map it to here. Okay, now let's save this. Whoops, not what I wanted to do. And to save, we want to drag over into our audio effects. Our first rack that uses VSTs. Okay, making progress here. I've tried to keep all of this stuff as easily openable for everyone, for remix purposes, for dissection purposes. Hopefully not for use in your own work verbatim purposes. Definitely remix this stuff if you can. Okay, so textures. Where to begin? I've been enjoying lately doing the whole Max for Live sort of like non time frame kind of running type of stuff. So let's get a note maker. Make note. Yep, I hear you. Okay, so and maybe we could get an LFO on this time here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get an LFO going there. And we'll use our MIDI LFO. And let's pull the range down. And let's try a random waveform. Cool. Next stop, I'm thinking this random MIDI effect. And let's map to the chance. And let's get rid of our release. let's map to that as well. Now let's get a different LFO on this frequency. And for this, I think we need actually, I want to try something. I want to try to put the randomizer on here. We need the audio version. Cool. And then an LFO for that, we're going to use our decisions. We are going to, which LFO? There's so many. Let's just bust out the one that's built in. And set it to bin. That seems to work the best for this button here. Cool, and it looks like this mapping is not being affected by the randomizing, which is nice. And I think for this case, I want to go ahead and remove this wet and dry. I just want it to be, and this mix knob as well. Where is the mix? Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of that, so it's not being affected by the randomness. And then the wet and dry here is this classic chain ramp. Got some weird vocal sounds, some nasally stuff coming out of there. All right, Resonator. What can we do with this? I'm not used to. I mean, that's kind of textural. Cool. Let's get some wild LFO stuff going on there. Maybe we can use some of this, although it is pretty on and off, this one. So yeah, maybe we'll get another LFO in here and we'll put the LFO right next to this. I always like to try to get the LFOs right next to the objects that they are manipulating, and that way it's really easy to track down in the future what's messing around with what. Who's modulating or automating what. Cool. Let's get some randomness on a lot of these. Might as well. Okay, cool. Let's try I'm just going to use this one. This means that all four of these are not modulating each other. They're just all going out separately and individually. I have like 4 oscillators in tandem. I'm not sure I like this resonator. And unfortunately, I must make a correction from the last sketch. We used VCV rack, VCVST. This great thing right here. Unfortunately, I mentioned it works with Mac, and it doesn't look like there is a port of this for Mac, unfortunately. Linux, I believe, and of course here PC. So sadly, no Mac love on that. It is really so powerful, this thing. I haven't even scratched the surface of it. We'll get back to it at some point. But for now, let's focus in. Sounds like we've got just like a really puttery, silly sounding little motorbike. And let's get that make note combo over here. Maybe if we take the smooth off, we'll get more. I don't know, more solid sounding. One thing we can do here is group this. Let's see, let's unmap this first. Time, yes. And then map the time to here. And this way we have further control of the range. So I can set this to like 10. And the max should be, say, 76, arbitrary point, and then we'll map this to here. Oh, no, it was already mapped. Okay, and then looks like I undid that change. So let's just say 2 and 100 for now. And let's map this LFO to here. And we can go back and change the range here if we want. Let's say 100 and 500. As we've done in the past, you can pitch this note down. I usually like the B setting, but you can, if you play around with sort of give arbitrary pitches here, turn off our filter, we can get kind of an interesting like spring reverb sound out of our resonator. This is sounding very modular in a way, kind of random and arbitrary-ish. I'm going to move this over here onto our here we go. And instead of textural, it's almost sounding a little more noise-like. For better or for worse. All right, now here's where things are gonna get real weird. No, let's could it get any weirder or more annoying, you're thinking. Let's adjust this time a lot higher. Let's say 500 and 2000. What is going on here? Okay, so yeah, this thing's freaking out like most sketches, starting out pretty terribly. Let's map a lot of these to this. See, I don't think we need these anymore because those are mapped somewhere else. right, let's adjust this time up a lot more. Let's go 1 second. And 2 seconds, so it's going to be some vacillation between that. And I don't think we need these mapped either. Those are just left over from copy and paste over. It's like herding cats trying to get a meaningful texture going here. If you take this auto pan and you put it on the random mode and you take the width all the way down, you get this kind of random volume crusher thing. A couple in a row, it can produce some interesting results. We could have another one on the end here. We could have as many of these in a row as we damn well please. The beauty of sketching, it's like there's no rules. There should never be rules. It should only just be a lot of fun. It's kind of a weird rhythmic texture. Okay, let's bust out our meaningful pattern generator. I haven't messed with that in a while. Let's see if we can find that in here. It might be in the MIDI section, actually. Meaningful, yep, cool. Now, I forget kind of how this one works, but I believe we can just send a make note into it, and it'll just kind of run on its own. And Ableton will crash. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, we're back. Wow, that was quite an ordeal. I kept opening up the autosave version and it kept crashing again, and then I realized that the last move I had made was copying over this make note and putting it right before this meaningful random pattern generator. And so I had to go in to my project and rename the make note to be something else so that when I would open up Ableton, it would not find that device. And so then it wouldn't load it in here. It would just load the sort of like device missing thing. And then I could delete it from here and then start over. The only problem then is all these mappings got lost, which is a real crappy shortcoming. I could only think that's a bug. I mean, at least the ranges are set, but it's just like it doesn't know what was mapped to what. Like, I think we had all three of these mapped inside of here. I mean, I could sort of at least luckily remember where things were mapped. Strangely enough, this time, it looks like it remembered that. But all this other stuff, I don't even know what that... Oh, I guess that mapped over here. Okay, so we'll just have to... I need... bugs, I tell you. And I don't understand why people want to go for hardware stuff, because it's like, you know, one thing goes down, it oftentimes doesn't bring the whole system down, and you don't have to deal with this, like, crap like these kinds of bugs. So anyway, but I'm glad I'm encountering this bug. It's motivating me to actually spend some time to log it for Ableton. I swear they're so lucky they have their user base as free QA essentially. Let's see, do we have an LFO over here? Also, it looks like that one stuck. See, it's weird. Some of them stuck and some of them didn't. I don't understand it. It's very buggy. All right, let's map this one to time. And then let's get this one fixed here. That one is still mapped, miraculously. All right, now let's save this. I'm going to copy this over here instead, and I'm going to make sure we have a reasonable, like this thing isn't making notes once every 1 millisecond. And let's save it again, knock on wood, and Actually, let's turn it off and then drop it over here in front of our meaningful pattern generator. And let's hope this doesn't crash anything. All right, cool. So it looks like we are now generating, let's go all the way up to 8. So every 8 seconds, it's gonna create a new meaningful pattern here. So let's get some note or some drum stuff going. Let's see, drum synth. Yes. Let's so we have this kick over here. I'm not sure. Maybe we want to try a different type of kick tone. And if we want, we can group this and we can make a bunch of these. We just need to so this is sending one note. It's sending middle C. And let's get a MIDI note length. Just put that really long. Looks like it's not. It's so weird. It's like this thing stopped working or something. Oh, okay. Not really sure. This should be, it should be on and making notes at this point. So that's the crash. I see. Okay, well, we're gonna not repeat that then. And we're back. So that's frustrating, but and we're not back. All right, let's okay, let's hope for the best on this one. Yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle. Some of these sketches, as you know, has been a bit of like wrangling with the bug gods. Not exactly a fun time, but okay. So I'm just trying to get a little array of drum synths going here, and with our meaningful pattern generator, it can take any note and then we've got 16 steps total. If we want to get some generative stuff going, we just adjust this down. And this is how many total beats of this 14 do we want. So we only want 6 strikes to happen in the 14. And we've got this sweet chance for the randomness. We'll flam if we want. Cool, I'm feeling an LFO there. Yeah, this clang is like probably one of the more boring. It's a more cowbell. I don't know. But with extreme settings, we could probably transform it, yeah, into something a little more unique. So we probably don't need this kick anymore. I'm thinking we can swap this out with something, maybe this sampler will be interesting. Let's pull in, let's pull in this Tycho and see what we get. do think I want to move this back now into the fact that our textures are these layers more or less. So let's group those. Texture, and let's drag this back. First I'm going to save and pray to the bug gods. Cool, looks like we're still getting some jumps here. Very nice. All right, let's get crazy with those LFOs. Actually, I guess we also have, now that I'm thinking about it, a MIDI LFO that we brought in, the MIDI LFO new. We can just put here, right next to the thing we want to manipulate. And we can map to both this kick as well as this. Okay, I think a little bit of hybrid reverb on there, give it some space, would be a nice... Not bad. Like finally something is starting to form, anything. At least we've got some kind of dubby spacey thing to go with our cheesy visuals. Which these visuals were, I created these with a patch. If you go to the website cables.gl, it's a pretty amazing like patch-based sort of max you drag wires, you connect these modules, they call them operators in there, and you can build your own visual constructions, and then you can share them, and you can dissect other people's, you can take parts and pieces from other people's patches. It's pretty amazing. And of course, free. All right, let's get this show on the road. Let's get that MIDI LFO in there, and let's get some random. So glad we recovered from those crashes. That was such a, so it gets so stressful. Definitely get some more volume coming out of this. Cool. Okay, so let me make sure I got these levels okay. Kind of like a ridiculous modern hip-hop sounding thing. All right, what else can we map to? Let's map to our flam. That may be too crazy because I don't think we can map these parameters just so. Definitely got our speed going in there. Cool. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Okay, that snare is now going a little crazy. Let's see. Beat rack. Too much random. Total beats, definitely want to bring that one down. Now let's map to that. Our flam is on. I think that was. I've set this up so that when this is all the way down, it turns the whole thing, the whole flam set thing off. So we'll just leave it at that. And let's get some shaping going on this snare. I love to customize it a little bit. let's map from here over to here. And I think I also brought this LFO into map to this as well. Kind of like there's like a dubby kind of thing happening with this. It's kind of nice. All right, we need to bust out our beat filter array. Wherever that may be. I believe in here, beat, repeat, select. Well, let's drop that after our hi-hats. And let's get this random MIDI going on that as well. I think at this point we need a new LFO MIDI. I'm going to duplicate this and just unmap all these. Let's try to see if we can get this silly pull down effect. Let's to occur from the beat here. So let's get an envelope in on that. Did it not work? Let's see here. Like, I swear I dropped an envelope and I didn't even see where it went. Man. Sometimes you're just gonna have those crazy crazy sketches where just nothing goes right. Okay, there we got it mapping, but I wanna flip things. And get a little bit of a rise and fall on there. I don't want it. Tension, so that's where he dropped it. I see. Well, we don't need that. Cool, and we can get a random LFO to modulate the gain. So our pull down, our tape chew effect will only happen every now and then. I don't think I want this to go all the way up to the top. You can also add a delay too, that could be interesting. Cool, so it only just, it's more of a subtle thing at this point. Okay, let's get the same effect going on that and sit with that for a second and see what that sounds like. And what we can do is we can add a second wet and dry to make this even more subtle. Now, since we got the whole dubby thing kind of just happening at this point, let's see what we can do with that motif. Nope. So key of D. Somehow it sounds like this thing is dropped down a note. C sharp. All right. Let's copy this, make note, and hope for the best here. Yeah, we need some MIDI effects after that, like a note length. Where's that good old-fashioned echo effect? Cool, let's get a... LFO going on this frequency here. I'm gonna duplicate this and I'm gonna map this one to the smooth on here. And let's duplicate this one. Map this one to the rate. I think what we need to do here, instead of mapping to this button, is let's say 1 and 0. See if this works. Oops. And let's map to this knob here. And we might need to make this 50-50 here. So let's say 63 and 65. So it's on sometimes and off other times. So when it goes above 65 here, so in this case, it's mostly off. Maybe I didn't do that right. Let's pull this down to 0 and this up to 65, maybe. It's tricky getting these mappings just right. This may be a lost cause. It's quite tough, I must admit, sculpting things with just LFOs. It takes a lot of tweaking. almost there. Bit of a rough start. Some of these sketches, I tell you, are just like pulling teeth. But it's fun, you know, it seems like we persevere and something interesting always comes out of it. Look, Mom, no hands. So yeah, we've got a piece here that, you know, runs, kind of self-oscillates in a way. And because of the magic inside of this this here meaningful random pattern generator that we're using on all of our percussive layers in here in our beat rack, you know, we can keep a steady beat this way. Obviously, you know, things aren't going to start exactly like when we, you know, if we were trying to sync this to something else that was, in fact, on the timeline, that would be tricky, but it will respect this tempo here. I want to try one other stupid thing, and I'll probably turn back from this idea. First need to save. Give a try to the sampler, and maybe this sound will be interesting in here, but I doubt it. Gotta say, at least some interesting tones coming out of this vocoder with a external pulled from the text, so it's kind of a feedback vocoder. Certainly a lot more to do with the vocoder. I mean, it is so powerful. I barely scratched the surface with it. I feel like by the time I'm almost dead on my deathbed, I may have somewhat mastered the vocoder and all of its craziness. And that is crazy. We can take an external source from this beat layer itself. Now, maybe we'll get that envelope follower in on this. But we need to do the opposite thing here. So the kicks push it down a little bit. Just nutty. definitely liking some of that feedback. It's kind of random. It just happens every so often. It's really unpredictable. Sometimes you just get lucky. But after the ordeals we've had with this sketch, I'd say I kind of needed that. I need a little pick-me-up. You know, honestly, with sketching, it kind of feels almost too good sometimes when when it really works out. You know, it's a bit of a too much affirmation or something. So it can be tough the next time when you sit down sketching. You don't have quite the same result happen. I've noticed, at least in my own path, that I've had to really learn to mitigate that, to be okay if when sketching things don't turn out, you know, 100% the way I would have hoped. Or I do try to at least spend an hour or so, and you know, I've spent a lot of time trying to get that hour or so, you know, to have maximum impact. I think for us, it really helps that we have an organized set of tools here that we can easily pull from, and ideas that we've explored, and we can just kind of, you know, call upon from our brains anytime we need. Okay, cool. I think I'm good to call it on this sketch. Yeah, pretty exhausted after dealing with some of those crashes, but hey, I mean, at least I know sort of what causes them and can try to hopefully avoid that down the road. At least get a bug report out. Not that they'll fix it. I think I've reported dozens of bugs, so maybe one has gotten addressed over the year. I don't know. It's just a deep, complicated program, so I couldn't imagine being a developer on this thing. All right, awesome. Well, keep it strange, keep it weird, keep it fun, just keep on keeping on, as always. Until next time.